Mr. Iwata? Mr. Iwata? Oh, wow. Yes, we're ready to start filming the Nintendo digital event for E3 2015.
Okay, thank you. I will head directly to the stage. Reggie, are you ready for the digital event?
Nintendo 62, Nintendo 63, Nintendo 64. My puppet body is ready.
I'm here.
Mr. Miyamoto?
Oh, yes.
Okay, ready whenever you are, gentlemen.
I just have to remember my words.
Look, look!
Hey, Fox, do a barrel roll.
Yeah, come on, Fox. Do a barrel roll.
Yeah.
Barrel roll? I can do better than that. Check this out.
Entering Corneria's orbit. Switching to all-range mode. Let's take the offensive. Do a barrel roll.
I live right by the Fushimi Inari Shrine. I've had a relation with this shrine since I was a child. Because of that, I felt that I was always protected, as if it's my guardian angel. When I was a child, there was a TV show about fighter planes called Thunderbirds. That inspired me to make a game that had cinematic elements, with each character having a distinct personality and their own drama. That would be reflected in the dialogue and appear in scenes like where a cool character and enemies would appear.
I'm here for a job, of course, and looks like I get to have a little fun.
When it came to talking about details regarding how to make the main characters look and feel, we talked about all sorts of types of people. But ever since I was in school, I drew comics with caricaturized humanoid animals, and decided that the characters in this game should be based off animals. I then talked about it with Imamura-san, the designer, and we thought about the fox image. Then I thought, let's try making a fox the main character.
We're entering Corneria City now.
When there's an arch, you want to go under it, right? That's the kind of game I wanted to make. Thinking about the shrine, this place is known for the row of arches. So we went with this idea to create a game where you would fly through different arches. Star Fox is a game where you use a control stick, like the one you'd find on a plane. When you fly a real plane, you need to pull back on the control stick to fly up, right? Similarly, you can use the gyro on the gamepad to look all around and feel really immersed in the game. We'd like people to play as if they are flying a real plane. It's really exciting. For Wii U, with its 2 screens, we experimented with gameplay with ideas before this iteration of Star Fox. There were 2 screens that each serves a specific purpose. For example, we've tested using one screen for a more cinematic view and the other for gameplay. The Wii U gamepad has a gyro, and it's a big reason we decided to make this game. It's a cockpit view, so it feels like you're in the cockpit like this. You can aim by moving the gamepad around. In the other Star Fox games, you play by controlling your plane in third person on one screen. This time, the game world is shown on the TV and you can focus in to aim on the gamepad. By using 2 screens, you can see yourself flying in third person on the TV while shooting down at the enemies below you from the cockpit view on the gamepad. You can be really immersed in the experience, so that's something I hope people can check out. On the Nintendo 64 system, you had to use a lot of buttons. But now, with the Wii U gamepad, you can use 2 sticks to do things like speed up and flip around. There's only one button to fire all the different weapons. So there are 4 buttons left, and with that, we thought, why not use these buttons to make the R-Wing transform? And let's use one button to do flips and the other for a U-turn. The R-Wing transforming into a walker, that was in Star Fox 2. But since that game didn't make it out, I'm glad we were able to have it appear. The R-Wing transformation mechanic actually looks like it makes a lot of sense. There's the Landmaster, and also the Gyro Wing, which adds a lot of breadth to gameplay. With it, you can perform a lot of tasks as Fox. You can also play different stages with other vehicles too. So I hope you'll have fun trying out courses with different vehicles even after you clear the game. We've rebuilt the game using ideas from the past, but it's not a Part 4 or Part 5. It's not a remake either, so we named it Star Fox Zero this time. The subtitle Zero was taken from how the kanji character looks in calligraphy. Star Fox is based off of the Japanese culture that inspired me, so I wanted people around the world to see this cool kanji character in the logo. When I saw it, it reminded me of a foxtail. We wrote the character with a brush and added the logo. It looks cool.
Hi, and welcome to Nintendo's digital event for E3 2015. I'm Reggie Fils-Aimé, President of Nintendo of America. We began today having a little fun imagining ourselves as characters in the Star Fox universe. But that opening was more than just fun. It also represents a theme you're going to encounter consistently throughout Nintendo's experience for E3. That theme is transformation. Recently, Mr. Iwata has made several announcements on how Nintendo itself is being transformed, with expansion to Universal theme parks, mobile devices, and our new dedicated game platform, codenamed NX, which we'll tell you more about in 2016. Today, our purpose is more immediate, to focus on the transformations you'll be enjoying right inside your Nintendo gameplay in the coming months. If there's a secret to the longevity of Nintendo franchises, it is transformation. We never let them stand still. There always has to be something new, something compelling. And that even applies to the game Super Mario Bros., which is celebrating its 30th anniversary in 2015. To say he's been transformed over the years is obvious, but along the way, he's also transformed gaming, from establishing the platforming genre on the NES to the 3D world of Super Mario 64. Later this year, Super Mario Maker will take the next step by turning the essence of game creation over to you, our fans. Now, players will become creators as you build your own Mario levels that can be shared globally with friends. And who knows, maybe even I'll be playing, and of course beating, your latest creation. Finally, nothing in our history has transformed our franchises quite like amiibo. And as you'll find out this week, there are more new amiibo on the way and more games for them to inhabit. In fact, right now, let's see how amiibo are about to show up in a totally unexpected way. So at this year's Nintendo Digital event, the team put me right to work. So I'm pleased to be here with Karthik Bala from the Vicarious Vision studio at Activision. And Karthik, we've got some great news to share.
Yeah, so the hallmark of the Skylanders franchise has always been deliver brand new innovation and the highest quality game experience. For the first time, we're bringing a whole new toy category to life. We're bringing vehicles to life this year with our new game, Skylanders SuperChargers, and really blending it to this epic vehicle adventure.
But there's more to it, right?
We've got 2 unexpected guest stars. So introducing turbocharged Donkey Kong and his vehicle, the Barrel Blaster. We also have Bowser. This is Hammer Slam Bowser, and his vehicle, the Clown Cruiser.
Bowser is always my favorite. I don't know why people say that I look like Bowser and at times act like Bowser. As you're playing as these figures, as you have the various vehicles, what happens?
So they have complete move sets and upgrade trees of powers and abilities, some of which are natural, things that you would expect, like Donkey Kong throwing barrels and Bowser slamming down his hammer, but also really unexpected moves that harken back to elements of lore within the 30 years of history of these characters.
What else can these figures do?
If you put the figure on a Skylanders portal, they act as a Skylander, but you can twist the base and switch it to amiibo, and it can be used as an amiibo in another Nintendo game.
So again, these characters, these vehicles, only playable on Nintendo. So as you go through this collaboration with Nintendo, a company that is very protective of its franchises, that always likes to have total control, what was that like in terms of working with us to bring these fabulous experiences to life?
We're such big Nintendo fanboys, and I think we may have been a little too cautious at first. We wanted to have a form of Bowser where he became really big, and we pitched the idea of using Giga Bowser, and this is when the Nintendo team said, no, do something different, something new, and we created Magma Bowser,
right?
Who's never been seen before, and his fire breath just becomes this insane flamethrower. We wanted to set the Koopa on fire, and they said use dry bones.
Right.
And so dry bones, and they said, well, here's all the material for dry bones, and it was just building on top of that, and we just didn't You know, we didn't think that we were going to get away with all of this stuff.
Karthik, thank you so much for sharing this information. And throughout the entire week, we're going to be sharing more and more information. You and your team are going to grace us at Nintendo Treehouse Live, and there's going to be a lot more information to share.
I'm super excited.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I wonder what's next.
Hello, I'm Aonuma, the producer of Zelda. Today, I would like to talk about The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, the latest Nintendo 3DS Zelda game. I have the game's director, Shikata, here to introduce it with me.
Hello. I wanted to focus on multiplayer and co-op. Multiplayer in past Zelda games was more competitive, much like a party game. Everyone would gather to play to see who would get the most rupees. This time, I wanted players to cooperatively enjoy more serious Legend of Zelda gameplay elements, like solving puzzles and going through dungeons.
The 3D visuals of A Link Between Worlds was a great feature, especially in terms of depth. So I wanted to incorporate that into the multiplayer. So that's why we came up with the totem mechanic. Co-op was fully realized with the totem mechanic. You can carry your friends on your shoulders and reach higher places.
A 4-player totem was too tall, so we decided 3 was the better choice. For single player, there are supporting doll-like characters. There are 2 of them, and you can beat a level by switching between Link and these 2 dolls. The story starts in a kingdom that is just full of fashion-savvy people. Then, we find out something has happened, so the king is looking for a hero who could help. So different players are each claiming to be the hero, and so it begins. Using items to defeat enemies and conquering dungeons is a familiar staple from other Zelda games. So it should appeal to fans of the series. This time, there's also a fashion element, where you collect items to create new outfits with new abilities. By buying and equipping these different clothes, your abilities change. So the same courses will offer different experiences depending on what you wear.
I think playing with people in online multiplayer where you can't see their reactions is fun too. I hope people invite others to try out the game with them as well.
When playing in multiplayer, we frequently hear Mr. Aonuma yelling excitedly about the game.
I have the loudest voice on the team. Also for Nintendo 3DS, we have another new game. Last year, we had the Wii U version of Hyrule Warriors. We're now developing a 3DS version. This game is a reimagining of the Wii U game. It will include all the DLC characters from that one. We are also adding additional characters and stages from The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker to expand the gameplay. Hyrule Warriors is not like the Zelda games I create. It is an experience only Koei Tecmo can really bring to life. I hope you will enjoy Hyrule Warriors Legends, as well as The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes on Nintendo 3DS.
Hey.
Life beyond the shore, just out of reach. Yet the waters ever change, flowing like time. The path is yours to try.
You are my child now. and for all. No more games. To the death.
Here I come! I'll show you!
I won't surrender! Now pay for your betrayal!
Don't look at me, please.
There is only one punishment. The sentence is death.
Try to be at peace. Kill me if you want, but do it as yourself. お願い、シーダ。私はシーダ。あなたは翼という名前なの？
人類の天敵に対抗し得るもの、それがミラージュマスターよ。
今の翼の歌声ならきっと届く。だから歌うんだ、翼。
行こう、我が友五木よ。
オリベ翼、17歳です。心を込めて歌います。ええ、翼の本気を見せてあげて。
背中は任せだぜ。かけるぞ、誰よりも早く。
ロードのマスターが現れた。ついに始まるのね。
私の出番ね。努力？才能よ。
どうしたの？お姉さんに何か用かしら？
きっとお兄ちゃんたちなら大丈夫。頑張って。
一緒に行こう、クロム。運命を超える。
Hi, I'm Emi Watanabe, and I work in software planning and development department at Nintendo. And I am a coordinator. I work with developers in making Nintendo games. I've worked on Kirby's Epic Yarn with the same developer, and I was in charge of designing Yoshi's Woolly World with Tezuka-san. Working with Tezuka-san is very inspirational. He is the leader of this project. At the same time, he has the perspectives of the player. So he has both elements, the leader and the player. At first, I decided to make some yarn Yoshi just for fun because I'm not a programmer or an artist, so I wasn't able to make something in the actual game. And the development team was really working hard. So I thought to myself, oh, is there anything that I can do in some way to help this game? I went home and got some yarn and I decided to make my very first yarn Yoshi. When I brought it back to the office, the smiles on the face of my colleagues really struck me. There was this proposal made at Nintendo saying that maybe for a game like this, a plushie amiibo would be more fun to have because it goes well with the vibe of the game. And when I heard that, I fell in love with that idea and decided to make more yarn Yoshi prototypes. Yoshi himself is made of yarn. The shape of his body transforms into different shapes. So he turns into like a propeller when you jump, and he turns into a mallet when he does the ground pound. But also the world itself is in yarn and fabrics and lots of textiles. We have places in the game where you can unravel, and you can also knit platforms. And in this game, the enemies are made of yarn as well. So when Yoshi swallows them, they turn into little yarn balls instead of eggs. Well, most of all, we want the game to be fun. Yoshi's Woolly World provides plenty of challenge if you try to go for 100% completion. But also we wanted to have lots and lots of people enjoy the game, and those lots of people have different expectations on the difficulty of the game. And for us, what's so special about Yoshi games is that the difficulty level is all up to the player, because if you just want to have fun, you can just run through the levels. If you think you're a more advanced player, you can set the challenge a little higher by collecting lots of items, and that provides plenty of challenge in this game. We are very confident that the game provides both the challenge and the fun. Its co-op mode is designed so that the user can decide how they want to play with their friend. So you can either cooperate with your friend, you can help each other out, you can swallow the other Yoshi, turn him into a yarn ball, and then throw it to high areas so that the other Yoshi can reach that area. So you can do a little bit of a competition with your friend, you can be a little mean. If you have an amiibo, and if you use it in Yoshi's Woolly World, then Yoshi's design turns into that amiibo character. So for example, if you have a Mario amiibo, you can get a Mario Yoshi. which is a Yoshi in Mario pattern, in Mario design. So if you have an amiibo at home, maybe you can have fun trying out different characters. In this game, when we turned Pucci into Yarn, he was really cute. So that's why we decided to have him again in this game. He barks when there's an important item around you, so he's a quite useful companion to have. Even after you clear the level, it's really fun to go back, revisit that level, because there's always something that you missed out on. You always find something new. It would be great if you can collect all the items in one go, but that is quite challenging. So I hope people can enjoy playing the same level over and over again. Most of all, I want people to feel happy when playing this game.
This is the line. Think you understand yokai a little better now?
Do your thing!
Summoning Charming!
We've been working together for 30 years now. If there's 3 ideas presented to both of us, we pick the same one.
As the years went on and we made more and more side-scrolling games, we had to create a more advanced tool to design them with. This became the basis of Super Mario Maker.
The tool got so good that the more we worked with it, the more we realized we could also turn it into something everyone could enjoy. With Super Mario Maker, anytime you make an edit, you can see the results right away. This instant feedback can really help your imagination run wild.
Back in the day, we had to create everything by hand. To design courses, we would actually draw them one at a time onto these sheets of graph paper. We'd then hand our drawings to the programmers, who would code them into a build. While digging up these old documents, we found this. It's very precious. When we first thought of the idea of Super Mario Bros., we had a concept of land, air, and sea. See this old sketch of Mario throwing fireballs from a moving cloud? You can now do that in Super Mario Maker. You can even control where the cloud flies.
In the old days, when we needed to fix or change part of the course, it would get really messy if we tried to edit the original drawing. So we'd put this see-through paper on top to make edits.
A lot of things might look familiar, but you can combine various elements from the different games to create entirely new stuff. Like stacking different enemies on top of each other to make a huge tower, and then putting a bullet bill on top. You can even put things we've never placed underwater. Right, there are some enemies that don't normally appear underwater, like Goombas. When you put one underwater in Super Mario Maker, it will swim like a small shrimp. Mario can even take on the appearance of other characters. Tap a compatible amiibo, like Wii Fit Trainer, and Mario can turn into Wii Fit Trainer when he gets a mystery mushroom. It's called Costume Mario. We have a lot of these planned. To celebrate Super Mario's 30th anniversary, we're releasing an 8-bit amiibo. When you use it, your Mario in-game is going to appear a bit bigger. The amiibo itself is pretty big too, to reflect the effect in the game. There's also a Super Mario Maker booklet. The booklet has a lot of sample courses. It's really fun just looking at them, as if this is what would happen if you design the world of Mario in real life.
Most times, I start by making a course I want to play, which is usually like a 2-1 or 2-2. Once that's done, we try to make it a little easier, so we move on to making 1-1. It's always like that. I may come across as a mean person by saying this, but in 1-1, there's a Goomba, which is clearly an enemy, but there's also a super mushroom, and you might run when you first see it. You run, but there's a block above, so you can't run. So if you jump, the ceiling is low, so you usually hit it. But when you do, you grow big. It's a surprise. There are stairs, but there are gaps. But the first gap has a floor, and the second one is the one you want to avoid because it's bottomless. So it's a
fall into it because they can't make it.
It's like game design training software.
Try it if you want to get into game design.
With enough practice, anyone can become a good course designer.
Earlier I said that Nintendo's experience for E3 is all about transformation. And while we've given you a sneak peek of some of our games coming later in 2015, there's still much more to share. Next, Nintendo Treehouse Live at E3 begins. We'll kick off with Mr. Miyamoto and fellow developers flying through Star Fox Zero. And if you can't wait to get your hands on Super Mario Maker, the opportunity is right in front of you. On Wednesday, from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., and Saturday from noon until 5 p.m. local time, you can walk into any of more than 100 Best Buy stores in the US and Canada and experience the game for yourself, firsthand. You can find the details of all of our activities this week at e3.nintendo.com. To close, as anyone transforms, be it a person or a company, it's good to reflect on where you've been to help guide where you go next. Over the past 30 years, more than 1 billion people around the world have played a Nintendo game. And most of them have played as gaming's biggest star, Mario. From the music, to the costumes, to the characters, Super Mario isn't just Nintendo's mascot. There's a little piece of him, and certainly memories of his adventures, inside all of us.
Oh yeah, Mario time!